Hey everyone, Shawn Clement here, Wisdom in Golf, headquartered at the Richmond Hill Golf Learning Center, and I have our new Wisdom Pro Associate, Chantal Aymon. Welcome.
Thank you.
I am very scared, okay? I'm out of my element here. I've always been a very inflexible person, and I just turned 51 years old, and that's it. I've done something about my nutrition. Everybody's seen how I did that, but I feel like I've lost some strength, and I've lost a little bit of range of motion. I know I can still hit the ball very well, but it's not where I know it could be. And Chantal's going to be here to help me, and by the same token, I know that many of you have some wives that are listening right now. They listen to you, you know, with our golf videos, and I know that because when they come here, they know my voice. So maybe there's something in there for them now as well. So hopefully many of you will participate in this. This is from total beginner. And Chantal is also doing it insofar as the specialty is for golf. So it's very golf specific. And you did your training with Catherine Roberts.
Correct.
For yoga for golfers.
That's right.
And Catherine's been around for, how long has she been doing it now for?
Oh, over 15 years, I would say, at least. So she's the founder of Yoga for Golfers, and really excited to be here and start your Yoga for Golfers program.
I'm all yours. I'm passing the baton over to you, Chantal.
Excellent. So just a quick word about Yoga for Golfers.
Okay.
Yoga is all about the union of mind, body, and breath, right?
Good.
And when you think of that in relation to playing golf, if our mind is not at peace, if our body is not flexible and strong, and if we don't breathe on the golf course, our performance is not going to reflect what we'd like it to be.
It's like some of my students, when I ask them, what was your focus? And they go, I'm still in the office. Mm-hmm. Right. So this will help you keep the office away and get you, nice and focused.
Correct.
Good.
So today what I'd like us to work on a little bit is trying to see if we can gain a little bit more range of motion.
Okay.
In order to create more club head speed.
Yes.
And hopefully gain a little bit of distance off the tee.
Yeah, so club head speed, and also, I hear that yoga also works on your strength. Mm-hmm. So the strength aspect of it is not only do you get more club head speed, but you'll also have more ball compression. So when you hear about the smash factor, the ball speed coming off the club head, well, that's because you're compressing that ball. And if you've got some good muscle tone and some good strength, then you'll be able to compress the ball better, which equals more speed and more distance as well. Make sense?
Absolutely.
That's why I'm excited about this.
And so am I.
All right.
So we need a baseline assessment,
okay,
right, to see, does it really work?
Okay.
So what I'd like you to do is step in the middle of your mat facing the camera.
Okay.
And then just take a moment, about hip width apart your feet.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I'd like you to inhale, lift your right arm up. And as you exhale, open the right arm towards the back. Just without forcing, just stay here. Now mentally, look at where your fingers are pointing towards the back. And try to remember that, because we'll revisit that at the end of the day.
I'm right on my support beam.
Perfect. Come on back to your center and take a moment, and we'll do the other side.
Okay.
So inhaling the left arm up. Exhale, open up. And then notice where the fingers are pointing.
Just short of the support beam, yep.
Okay, come on back. And from here, I'm going to ask you to lie on your back.
Okay.
So, lying on your back, your knees are going to be bent, so your feet are on the floor. And mind your mat.
Knees
so
bent,
that's
feet on
right.
The floor, yeah.
Feet on the floor. And just for now, have your arms away from you, just a little bit more, palms up towards the mat, towards the ceiling. And tuck your chin under, so the back of your neck is nice and long. Good. Okay. And we're going to take 3 nice deep breaths to quiet the mind, but also to prepare our muscles for the yoga session that's about to happen. So I'd like you to take a nice deep breath in through your nose, sigh it out through your mouth. One more time, a nice deep breath in, and then sigh it out through your mouth. And one more time. Inhale, belly rising. Hold the breath at the top when you feel you're at your max. And then a nice long exhalation through the mouth, letting go. Beautiful. So from here, I want you to quiet your back, quiet your shoulders, And bring your feet a little bit wider apart. Taking a nice deep breath in. Exhale your knees to the right. So we're doing window washers.
Okay.
So knees are going to float towards the right, correct? Okay. Then inhale back to your center. And exhale the knees towards the other side. And I want you to continue doing that at your own rhythm. So every time you inhale, you come back to center. And every time you exhale, your knees are floating to one side. So all we're doing now is trying to release a little bit of tension in your lower back, which is great, obviously, if you do suffer from back issues. But it also helps improving the internal and external rotation of our hips. So we'll do a few more cycles of breath here. And notice how everything is connected to the body, right? Even though we're moving the legs, the hips, the upper body, the shoulders may be moving a little bit as well, depending on how much tension we're holding in those regions. So see if you can just continue like that. You're doing beautifully. Nice breath in, feeling the belly rise, and long exhalation. Knees moving to one side.
I feel like I'm skiing.
Yes, that's right. And what I like about this type of yoga, we're actually flowing with the breath, as you can see. It helps us create a nice tempo in the breath, in the body, and it helps us as well relaxing, right? So reducing stress, finding our own rhythm. I call it finding our zen, right? Just a couple more. And you may notice with time and breath that you're moving a little farther, perhaps, than the first time that you went down.
I did notice that.
Yeah. Good. So we'll do one more on each side. So many golfers suffer from lower back, so this is one that I suggest to do in a very gentle way, always breathing deeply. And come on back to your center. Good. Okay. So from here, I'd like you to roll onto your right side.
Okay.
And I want you to stack your shoulders, your hips, your knees, and your arms on top of each other.
Okay.
So careful on your mic, yeah.
I'm going to take the mic just out there.
Good. Now bring your knees a little closer to your chest.
Okay.
Yeah. And I want to provide support for your head here. So I'm going to bring, I've got my yoga mat, but you could also use a yoga block, a pillow, because you want to make sure that your cervical spine is nice and comfortable here.
Okay.
Good. Arm extended towards you, so in the front, so straight. Beautiful. Straight. And now what I'm trying to do is see a little bit about the shoulder turn and thoracic spine, right?
Okay.
So keeping your hips in place, I'd like you to inhale, open your left arm up towards the ceiling, and continue your shoulder turn towards the floor behind you. And as you exhale, you close your arm back on top of the other.
Open and close the barn door.
That's right. Inhale, open up. We call it Alligator Twist. And exhale. Beautiful. Wonderful. I like what I see here. Quite often the tendency in this movement is for people to lead with their arm, with their extremity, as opposed to their core, their torso.
Okay.
And I really like what I'm seeing here. The shoulders and the torso is turning as opposed to yanking the arm, right?
That's because we're used to moving everything together at Wisdom and Golf.
Inhale. So you may be feeling my leg right behind your hips. I'm just trying to keep the hips stable.
Right.
And I'm going to walk away from you and continue doing the movement. And just notice, is there a difference? Do you feel that suddenly your hips want to open up? Maybe not.
Not bad.
Good. A few more rounds here.
So typically how many reps?
So I get that question quite often. So I would say 10 reps
Okay.
And some people that do have a lot of tension and may not be rotating as much as they would like them to be can go up to 15 or 20.
Okay.
Yep. Always respecting, obviously, the sensation in the shoulder joints here. So if there's any issues, listen to those flags,
Nothing
right?
with strain, correct?
That's right. We want ease throughout the body and the mind in order for it to be productive.
Now you're talking. That's our language.
Good. All right. So stay there for a moment.
Okay.
And then we're going to have to do the other side if you don't want to be lopsided. So I'm going to ask you to go onto your other side.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe I'll switch the cover for your head here.
Yes, I don't want to turn my back to you guys.
No.
All right.
So always important to create the foundation that's going to be supportive throughout the movement.
Yeah.
So knees a
I
little
can
close.
see what you meant by this too, because as I turn the head, everything can move together. Otherwise, it would feel awkward.
Absolutely. And I would actually like to see a little bit more support here for you, but
Yeah.
we'll take care of that a little
And I got
later
a
on.
big heavy head.
That's right. So bring your knees a little closer to your chest, about 90 degrees, I would
Okay.
say. Good. And shoulders stacked on top of each other. So for people at home, the tendency sometimes is that bottom shoulder is already in a twist a little bit more
Yeah,
forward.
yeah.
Right now you're good. You're right. You're
Okay.
stacked.
Okay.
So when you're ready, a nice inhalation. And exhale. Beautiful. I'm just going to provide a little bit of support here in the hips. And exhale. So I often get that question, well, Chantal, I'm not reaching the floor behind me. Is that wrong? No, it's not.
God, no.
Your own range of motion is, that's right. We all have different bodies, different abilities, and too much flexibility without strength is not
It's a
good.
collapse.
It's a collapse.
It's a collapse.
Correct. So what we're looking for is a nice balance between that flexibility and strength.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's what your golf swing needs, big time.
Absolutely. So I'm going to step away. Notice if the hips want to help you a little bit into the rotation.
Feels a little stranger on this side.
It looks different as well, which is a good thing because we're not robots, right? So we all have one side that's stronger than the other. Absolutely normal.
Awesome.
But when you do discover that one side is a little bit less flexible than the other, then I suggest you spend a few more reps on that side as opposed to spending too much time on the other one.
Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. So I like how you're moving, you're taking your time with the breath. You're linking the movement with the breath as opposed to the opposite, right? So we really want to respect the length of our breath. Good, and 3 more.
Well, so far I can do this.
Good. I told you I'd be gentle. It's the first session, so we'll see how we can build that up a little bit. And one last one. Beautiful. And exhale. Good. Now from here, take a moment to pause. And when you feel you're ready, I'd like you to come on all fours. So hands and knees facing this way.
This way now?
Correct.
On top of the mat?
Hands and knees, yeah, in table position.
Table position.
That's right. So table position in yoga is a foundational pose, and quite often it's used for transition.
Okay.
But if I was to leave you there for 20 minutes,
Yep.
you would notice how much work your arms, your shoulders,
Yep.
and your back as well
Okay.
are doing, right? So we need to create a good foundation in
Okay.
order not only to protect your wrist, but also to continue building strength in the hands, the wrist,
Yep.
the arms. So I'd like you to spread your fingers nice and wide and claw your mat with your fingertips, specifically index and thumbs. Good.
The claw.
Now, with people that have shoulder issues or maybe
Yeah.
quite muscular in the shoulder, I like to have a little bit of a wider stance in the hands. So if
Okay.
you'd like to go a little wider. Yeah.
Actually, I just had a rotator cuff injury.
Okay.
and I'm told wider would, well, I mean, eventually I want to get wider because that's going to strengthen it.
Correct.
Is it okay if we start not too wide?
If you're comfortable, absolutely. So number one rule in yoga, no pain, no gain does not work.
Okay,
so
good.
I want
that.
I want pain-free.
Okay, strain-free.
And respect of the body. So
Okay.
if there's any, things that are uncomfortable, you let me know.
Perfect.
Perfect?
Yep.
All right. So from here, I want you to visualize that your back, your spine is
Yep.
in a nice neutral position.
Yep.
And neutral doesn't mean that it doesn't have curves. We have curves in our spine.
Correct.
We need to respect those, right?
Yes.
So from here, with as little movement as possible in the upper body, I'd like you to extend really slowly your right leg out, keeping your toes on the floor.
Oh, okay.
Yep, beautiful. Then take a moment to feel your foundation, so
Yep.
your left knee, both hands.
Yep.
And using your hamstring and your glutes, slowly lift your right leg up, keeping your hips nice and balanced. So if I was to put a tray
Yep.
of champagne glasses on your lower back,
Okay.
you would not flip it.
I don't
All
drink
right?
champagne anymore.
So dorsiflex that foot so the heel is driving towards the back. Yeah, so we're beautiful.
Okay.
And just take a couple of breaths here to feel your foundation. We're about to move here. Beautiful. Very nice. So on your next inhalation, think of extension of that leg. And as you exhale, bring your knee towards your nose. You're going to round your spine as your nose and knee are going to come towards each other.
This way?
Yes, beautiful. And feel your core working here.
Okay.
Inhale, extend. Come on back to your neutral position. Lift the head up a little bit. Beautiful. Exhale, knee to nose. So here we're trying to create a nice rhythm in the breath, keeping our foundation nice and stable. And we're developing strength in the core. Not only when we think of core, a lot of people think, oh, I want big abs, right? No, we're also building strength in the back, in the glutes, and in the hamstring. Good. 3 more. Inhale. Extend. Try to stay nice and stable in the arms and shoulders. Exhale. Round, round, round. Good. 2 more. And one last one. And this time, try to keep your arms straight or micro bend the elbows. So work on arching the back more. Beautiful. Release your knee down. Yes, we're done on that side.
Good. My left leg was cramping up a little bit.
Good. So bring your hips towards your heels. We're going to go in towards an active child's pose. So active child's pose, I'm bringing my hips towards my heels. I'm cupping my hands so my fingertips, yeah.
Okay.
Watch your shoulder here, make sure it's comfortable.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to push the floor away with my fingers as my hips are going towards my heels. So I want a nice stretch for your lats. That's what I'm trying to aim at
gotcha,
here.
gotcha.
You got
Okay,
that?
yeah.
Beautiful. So just a couple of breaths here to give your wrist a break in table position. If we stay there too long, some people do have a little bit of wrist issues. So, and the trick here is to really grip the mat with the fingertips. Good. Now come on back to your table. Set your foundation so we can do the other side. How's that shoulder of yours?
Fine.
Good. So when you feel your foundation is ready,
Yep.
I want you to slowly extend your leg back, toes on the floor first, so we can feel the
yep.
foundation, right?
Okay, got it.
And then mentally, bring your mind to your hamstring and glutes, let those muscles lift the leg up. Good. Couple of breaths here to stabilize. Now I want you to visualize from the crown of your head to the heel, a nice lengthening with each breath that you take. And when you feel you're ready, you're going to take a nice inhalation, exhale your knee to your nose, work on rounding the spine as you bring the knee to the nose and feel that core working for you. Good. So we'll do a few cycles of breath here. Take your time with the breath. Good. 5 more. Notice how the arms are bending a little bit.
Yep.
It's not wrong or right. It's something that we'll look into throughout the weeks together.
Okay.
Just aim at really rounding that spine as you exhale. Big exhalation here, knee to nose. Knee to nose. Good. Beautiful.
So inhale.
Inhale here. Big inhalation as you lengthen.
Oh, as I lengthen, I inhale.
That's right.
Okay.
Nice inhalation. Exhale, knee to nose. Good. And one last one. Good. Knee on your mat, back to your neutral table, and go to your active child's pose. So hips towards your... So child's pose is a go-to pose in yoga to rest quite often. As long as
I'm enjoying the rest, thank you.
Right. As long as it doesn't create tension in the ankles, knees, and hips.
Yep.
So again, respecting...
Feels good in the hips, actually. It's a good stretch in the hips right now.
Good, perfect. And if you want to add a little bit more traction, is to press the floor away with the fingertips as the hips are moving back. So now I'd like you to take a couple of deep breaths, breathing into the back body. So feeling the rib cage expanding every breath you take. And as you exhale, just allow yourself to just sink in a little bit more. One more breath.
This is where I feel the lats now.
Yes, absolutely. Beautiful. Come on back to your neutral table. Back to your foundation on hands and knees. How you doing?
Good.
Good. All right.
Arms are getting a good workout, actually.
Excellent. That was one of our goals, right?
Yes.
Good. So let's bring your right hand behind your head.
Right hand behind the head.
Yes. So now your foundation is suddenly on your left hand and both knees.
Yes.
Right? So what I want you to think of is your shoulder turn. So as you inhale, you're going to open up towards the ceiling.
Okay.
As you exhale, bring your elbow towards your opposite wrist. Beautiful.
Okay.
Inhale, open up. Exhale, close it back in. And then we'll do 5 more, taking your time. Exhale. And keeping your foundation nice and stable without creating tension, right? So there is going to be a little bit of movement. We want that to happen, not to create more stress in the back and shoulders. Good. 2 more. And one last one. Very good. And release your hand back down. Good. You're feeling this in your arms and shoulders.
Yes.
Huh? Good.
The left arm's getting a great workout.
So now your right arm is going to get a little bit of work as well.
Yep.
Because the shoulder has been injured. We may not do as many reps.
Okay.
You be the judge as to
Yep.
when you feel it's time to stop.
It's feeling good.
Right?
Yep. So same thing?
Same thing. Left hand behind the head. Inhale, open up, work on the shoulder turn. And exhale, elbow to your opposite wrist. Very nice. Good. So let's do just 3 more, if that's okay with you, just to give that right shoulder a little bit of a break.
It's actually feeling pretty good.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Don't be soft on me now.
5 more. And again, I often get that question, how many reps do I need to make? It's such an individual question, right? It could be 5 to 20. I always suggest again, if you have one side that's a little tighter than the other, then do a little bit more reps on that side. Good. One last one. Very good. And settle your left hand on the mat. Good.
Very nice.
We're almost done on our arms, I promise.
All right.
But you're going to love that one. So keeping your knees where they are.
Yep.
I want you to walk your hands towards the left. Correct. Walk, walk, walk.
Oh, just
What
okay.
I'm trying to do is get a little bit of a curve in the right side of the body.
Okay.
Yeah. From here, bring your left elbow on the floor.
Excuse me?
Yes.
Okay.
If that's right, so you
Okay.
need to come back a little
Okay,
bit.
yes,
Yes. And then reach with your right hand, right arm,
Yeah.
as far away as you can, so you can get a nice on the floor. Keep your
On the
hand on the floor. Yeah. So you can get a nice stretch.
Okay.
Inside body. Do you feel that?
I'm gonna walk it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the
Good.
lat, huge.
Good. So take a couple of breaths just to settle in and, you know, get in touch with the sensation on the right side of the body here.
Yeah.
And if you feel that it would also be appropriate for your body, you can use your fingers to press the floor away as your hips are dipping towards the right. So it's an active stretch as opposed to a passive one.
Okay.
Be mindful of that right shoulder.
Yeah.
Right.
I just have to reset a little bit
Very
so I don't
good.
strain.
Good. So remember, no pain, no gain does not work. Always respect and honor your body. Right?
Love that.
That's going to allow us to play golf a lot more longer.
Respect everybody.
Yes. All right, one deep breath in, breathing into the right side of the rib cage. And then slowly exhale and come on back to your center. So back to your neutral table.
Okay.
Hands and knees, yep.
All right.
And then walk your hands towards the right. We're going to do the other side.
Okay.
You may not want to go as wide this time because you know what's coming, right? So
Yes.
the right elbow's coming down. And then left arm reaching forward, nice and away. So our goal here is to get a little bit of a nice stretch between the left hip and perhaps all the way to the left fingertips, depending on where you hold your tension.
Okay.
So where are you feeling this mostly, Shawn?
The lat,
Okay,
yeah,
perfect.
right through the center, from center of the left rib cage.
Good, good. This is one of my favorite stretch for the lats. It's really effective. So deepen the breath here, right? Without breath, there's no oxygenations of the muscles. There's also stress being created. So when you think about that, just deepen the breath and allow the stretch to do its work. Good. Your next breath in, focus on the left side of the rib cage this time. Long exhalation, and come on back to your neutral table. Good. From here, I'm going to make you transition to a standing position. I won't make you do downward dog today. We'll wait for perhaps
Yeah, I heard about
next
that one.
week.
That's the one that scared me the most.
That's right. So what I like to do here is lift your knees off. So curl your toes under first.
Okay.
Yeah. Lift your knees off the mat a little bit. Then walk your hands and feet towards each other. Bring your hands onto your knees. Yeah, nice and easy. Beautiful, beautiful. Hands on your knees, and I want you to look down. Look at your feet. Be curious about them because they're your foundation, right? And your
Size 12, baby.
That's right. And then using your feet and your legs, you're going to press the floor away and come on up. So in other words, we're not using our back, we're using our legs. Just come on up, nice and easy.
Okay.
Good. So now we are in what we call our mountain pose in yoga. So you're going to face the camera, standing. And
Okay.
mountain pose is standing, right?
Okay.
Feet are about hip width apart, parallel to one another, but I know
Yep.
that for a lot of people, the feet are a little bit angled out this
Yeah.
way.
Just
If
the
you-
way the hip socket moves into
Correct.
connects to the pelvis, it should be
Right.
like, for me, if I let my leg hang, it feels like it wants to hang a little open.
That's right. So if that's more stable for you, that's where you go.
Okay.
Okay? So this is called mountain pose in yoga, right?
Okay.
So arms just by the side of the body, shoulders are down. So I want you to create tension in your shoulders. Bring your shoulders up.
Okay.
Feel that tension that we're so attached to in everyday life when you think about it.
Yeah.
And then from here, release the shoulders down. Beautiful. Good. And you can open your eyes. And I'm going to make you do what we call Warrior One.
Warrior One.
Yeah, you're going to turn and face me.
Okay.
Step at the front of your mat. Okay. And I'd like you to take a step back with your right foot. Okay. Your heel is going to go on the mat. So we're not doing a high lunge.
Okay.
Heel is on the mat.
Okay.
And I want you to bend your front knee. Make sure that your knee is right on top of your ankle.
Got it.
Or behind.
Yeah,
and
stacked.
That's right. Stacked joints, support.
Yep.
Correct? You're going to bring your arms at shoulder height. Okay. Oh, I wish I would have a golf club that you could hold on to, but
Okay.
I want you to relax your shoulders here
Okay.
a little bit and pretend that there's a golf ball right here
Okay.
on the floor. You're going to keep your eyes on the ball.
Okay.
I'd like you to take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, rotate your shoulders, your torso towards the left. Eyes on the ball. Good. Inhale, come on back. Exhale, other side. Good. Inhale, come on back. Exhale, other side. So we're trying to keep the foundation nice and stable.
This is, I like this because so many of my students have wandering eyes during the swing, and they lose their bearings, they lose their focal point.
Correct.
So you may not be, your eyes are on the ball or on the grass behind the ball. You're not necessarily focused on that, but at least you have that focal point.
That's right. Inhaling back to
Inhale,
center.
inhale back.
Yeah, inhale back. Exhale, rotate. So not only here are we building strength in the lower body, we're trying to build range of motion, a little bit more of range of motion in the shoulder turn, upper body. Focus.
I'm feeling that in my mid back.
Yes. Notice how your arms have lowered down a little bit, which is fine. It's fine. No, I prefer seeing that movement down than the shoulders coming up, right?
Okay.
So what we're trying to do now, probably by lowering your arms, is reducing the tension in the back. Good. Just a couple more rounds here. Notice how your knee wants to move in a little bit. So
Yeah.
try to keep it nice and stacked.
So the goal here is to create more range in the thoracic spine?
Correct. And at the same time, building focus, stability.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
One last time on each side. Very nice. Release your arms down and step forward. All good?
Yeah.
All right. We have to do the other side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 'cause
Okay.
symmetry is
Yes.
important, right?
Yeah.
So stepping back,
Yeah.
we want to make sure our foundation is sustainable and comfortable.
Yeah.
Good. Relaxing the shoulders, arms up. Yeah, take a nice breath in.
So I'm creating a foundation to resist so I can get the good stretch, right?
Correct. So,
But the stretch without strain.
right, stretch without strain, creating a stability, a foundation, but without tension. Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now I'm noticing, Shawn, and it's not wrong, that you've reversed the breath. So you're inhaling, which is fine. Continue inhaling.
Inhale as I go.
Yep. And as you exhale, you come back. That's your natural tendency, and I want you to respect that. Okay? Because usually, as I twist, I exhale. You do the opposite. But I want you to respect your tendency, because your tendency is to go there. So
Really?
as you inhale, you open up.
Cool.
Twist. And as you exhale, you come on back.
So there's nothing wrong about it.
Nope, nothing wrong about it.
I like that.
Again, ease, right?
I keep telling my students, you're not doing anything wrong. You can't do anything wrong.
That's right.
If you strain, you're doing it wrong, though.
Yes. Oh, yeah. A few more cycles of breath. So one thing to keep in mind is that doing just a little bit of yoga every day as opposed to a 90-minute session once a week will give greater results. So that's one thing to keep in mind. There's no right or wrong. And what we're looking for is just to incorporate a little bit of flexibility, strength, focus, balance work in one activity. And that's what yoga is all about.
I'm going to drag my son into this one too.
Good. Good. One more on each side. Beautiful. Release your arms down and step forward. Good. Good.
Anterior deltoids.
You're feeling them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So turning to face the camera.
Okay.
Back to our mountain. Mountain is a foundational pose, and it's a pose that we go to in between yoga poses, just to recenter yourself and to reconnect to your breath and to why you're here. So I'd like you to really feel your feet on the ground and see if you can balance from your toes to your heels. So you're just rocking a little bit from the front to the back. And then eventually you'll find your sense of gravity or your center of gravity. I want you to stop there. Closing your eyes, visualizing that your chin is parallel to the floor.
Yep.
Take a nice deep breath in through your nose and exhale through the mouth. And 2 more times, a nice deep breath in. Long exhalation. And one last time. Exhale.
Now I can see why horses can sleep standing up.
That's right. And gently.
It's really relaxing, actually.
It is. Opening your eyes. I'd like you to inhale your right arm up at shoulder height. And as you exhale, open your arm towards the back.
I'm going to move away so I don't slap you.
So do you remember the assessment that we did?
That's a lot more. Mm-hmm. I feel like I can go much further past.
Down the other side.
Inhale that way?
You just inhale, exhale, open.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Much better.
Yes?
Oh yeah.
Good. Inhale back and exhale down. Good. So we did together.
I would say that's about 15%. Would that be accurate?
Mm-hmm. With only maybe 20 minutes of yoga,
yeah.
you know. So again, a little bit every day will create a lot more.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can feel it.
Beautiful.
I can feel it, you guys.
Yes.
All right, cool. Cool, all right, looking forward to that.
Excellent.
Yep, okay.
Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
Are we done?
Well, we're done.
Awesome.
We're done for today.
Wow.
Yes, I told
can
you.
do it, man.
Gently for the first session, and then.
Okay,
We'll see.
we'll keep building on that.
Oh, yes, we will.
All right, well, I think you guys can do this definitely this week. I'm going to be doing this at home with my yoga mat. I'm going to drag my wife and son into it. Daughter's still in university, so she's off the hook for now. Mm-hmm. And then I'm looking forward to next week where we can get deeper into that rabbit hole, you guys. All the best.
All the best.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Chantal.
You're very welcome.
All right. Good grip. All right.